So, just by a show of hands, how many have used Wireshark to decode HTTP protocol? Good. How many have used Wireshark to decode or decrypt SSL with RSA keys or SSL keylog files? Hands up. OK, a few. Cool. How many have used an intercepting proxy like Burp or Fiddler or Charles proxy to decrypt SSL? OK, cool. So I've tried all of these stuff because what I want to do is I want to analyze malware traffic that might use SSL encryption, and they might run HTTP2 inside the SSL encryption. All of this failed. So what I ended up doing is writing my own proxy that can actually do this. So I'm going to demo that. And so this will be a live demo. So I have no idea if it's going to work or not, but just we'll hope. So it's running like a systemd daemon at the moment. So let's see. Oh, sorry. OK, good. So it's up and running. And what it does, it's intercepting traffic that's going to port 443. It's decrypting it and re-encrypting it. But while it's decrypting it, it also takes the decrypted traffic and stores it in PCAP files. And the PCAP files are located in this location. So let's look what's there. So all these PCAP files, it automatically creates a new PCAP file every hour. But that's no fun for demo. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to stop this service, and I'm going to stream the PCAP data real time to Wireshark instead. Like this. So right now, Polar Proxy is the name of the tool. It's intercepting traffic on port 443, and then just piping the stuff out on standard out, and Wireshark will be reading PCAP data from standard inputs. So now I need to generate some SSL traffic. So let's start browser. So I'm just going to show you that I don't have any proxy setting in the browser because the proxy is running like a transparent proxy. And that's important because if you're going to intercept malware, or for example, intercept the traffic from an app on your phone, you don't want to you have no ability to configure that app. Or I cannot configure the malware to use my proxy. So it has to be transparent proxies, or anything that just tries to go to 443 on the internet is gonna has to be forced to go through the proxy. So you see, no proxy in Firefox. So I'm going to open a website. So this is my company, Netrosec. And I could scroll down. This is my software, Polar Proxy. That's what I'm talking about today. So this is a free tool that you can download from this site. So this describes what it does. You have a client, does HTTPS, and the Polar Proxy decrypts it and re-encrypts it, but then pushes HTTP to a PCAP file. But it doesn't have to be HTTPS. It can be anything that runs over SSL, and it will decrypt it for you. So let's look at the logs. Polar Proxy will create some logs for you. So we will see netrosec.com here. It's being decrypted, right? But we also see traffic to mozilla.com. So it seems like the browser is doing something in the background. Let's see if we can find it here. Oh, sorry. There it is. So the browser is doing something in the background. You normally not see this because it's encrypted, but now we see it's unencrypted traffic going to port 80 instead of 443. And you can see it actually sends some data about my client. I'm giving a unique client ID that I always have the same ID, regardless where I connect from. My client will have the same unique ID so Mozilla can collect data about me and my browsing activities. Haven't really investigated what type of data they collect, but it's there. One more thing I'd like to show you is that you can see that Firefox thinks this certificate is correct because it's verified by Polar Proxy root certificate. So I had to, of course, trust this root cert in order to get the decryption working. And if you look at the certificate, what Polar Proxy does is that every time you visit the website, it will automatically generate a new certificate for you, which will be identical to the original certificate, but it will replace the private key, and it will sign it with its own root CA. So, but apart from that, the certificate will be identical to the original certificate. So it really mimics the original certificate as much as possible. Let's open a few other sites. Oh, sorry. OK, we're going to browser. Let's do this. We could do Google too. That's OK. So hopefully my internet is still working. Right, good. So in Wireshark here, I said HTTP host contains Mozilla.com. So I should be able to do the same thing because I visit netrosec.com. So let's do that. Oops. Netrosec. Like this. But I get no frames. So why could this be? Why don't I see an HTTP host header called netrosec.com? Well, the reason is netrosec.com runs HTTP2, like most websites actually do nowadays. So what I need to do then, HTTP2 is a completely different protocol from HTTP, so the syntax in Wireshark is completely different. So you have to do HTTP2.headers authority contains netrosec.com, and hopefully I should see, yes, there is. So right now you have to use a completely different name to access the host header. It's called the authority header in HTTP2, and then you have the traffic. So you can see the user agent, the header, and everything. OK, so we have that. And right now, I open SecT and Google. So some of those sites probably set some cookies. So let's see, http.set cookie. And let's try cookies that client might have cached. HTTP cookie. No cookies. That's strange. Well, maybe these sites like Google and SecT are also running HTTP2, right? Let's check. And then it's called HTTP2.headers.set cookie. There it is. So looks like the sites are actually using HTTP2, and we can see some nice cookies here. And we could even do set cookie contains. Let's see if we can find some secure cookies. Oops. At least one. Let's do matches instead. One. OK, it's not too much. But at least, so a cookie that's set with this parameter cannot be sent over port 80. It has to go encrypted on the SSL. Of course, it looks like the traffic is going to port 80, but that's just because Polar Proxy has decrypted it for us. So I have Google up. Let's search for something. So let's say never. So I'm going to search for this, but then no, that's kind of corny, right? So I'm not going to search for that, so I'll just remove that. So do you believe this data has been sent to Google already? Yeah, I see nods. You know this. You know this. Let's just verify from the traffic. So again, we need to use the HTTP2 stuff here. And this time it's called headers path. It should contain all search engines typically use the Q equals when they search. So let's see if we can find this. Contains better. OK, so nice. And what's also nice is that we can see this nice pattern of how I type this. N, N-E, nev, never, never gonna. So for every character I type, this is sent to Google all the time. So you can see my spelling mistakes, see me going back and changing it. You know, it's all sent to Google in different GET requests. This is my my stuff, so I can remember what to say. And another thing I want to show you while I'm up here, hp2.headers.content type contains DNS. So what is this? Any ideas? DNS over HTTPS, also known as DOH. So I've set my browser to do this. In the US, I think this is going by default now, or is supposed to go. In Europe, they say, no, we're not doing it for you in Europe for now. But you can enable it. Just go to Firefox, and in the settings, you just check this enable DNS over HTTPS. Then all my DNS queries will be sent over HTTPS instead of unencrypted on port 53 UDP. This is probably good for privacy if you're in the US. Yeah, exactly. You have to trust Cloudflare, right? Because if you're in Europe, I'd rather just send my DNS requests unencrypted to my local ISP than to send them to the US to Cloudflare, where I have no privacy rights. And there's no other options here in the dropdown. It's only Cloudflare. It would be nice to see other operators, especially in Europe, in the European Union, who are at least really abiding by GDPR, who will be running HTTPS DNSs. But that's hopefully that will happen. So you can actually see in the DNS, let's see, you just verify. If I would have a newer version, newer build of Wireshark, I would actually see the DNS packet here just nicely. But I realize now I have a slightly older version. But you can see that, OK, it was a DNS lookup for
And also
Cloudflare.
slightly ran out of time.
Oh, yeah. OK, thank you. That's all I want to show anyway. So.
Big round of applause.